answered Will Ferrell, or if you answered Mark Wahlberg, a new biography based on your life headed to theaters in the form of Daddy's Home 2. Also, Murder on the Orient Express. Will it kill it at the box office? Not likely. And Lady Bird. No, it's not that Lady Bird, it's this Lady Bird. About her. Who is she? You'll get to know her as it heads to the Academy Awards. That and more on this edition of Extra Butter. Look, it's my friend Clay. That's what this movie show's about. People getting together, talking about movies pretty much the same way you talk about movies. I'm Marcus Allen. These are my friends. Hello.
What's up?
All right, so once again, I'm TV Marcus Allen, and you are?
I am Alexa Renee.
And you are?
Kelly Savannah Deaton.
And you are?
I'm Brian Kroll. I'm right here.
Look how nice Brian looks in the all white.
Oh,
I know.
He
pressed it in
I did. I ironed right before I
I'm
came
the only one
here.
applauding, but I got you.
Thank you.
Exactly. I liked it so much when he walked in, I thought I too was getting into that wrong producer category the way I looked at it and you said, you're sure it looks really good. Thanks, Weinstein!
Thanks, Mark.
Hey, welcome to the show. Oh, look, we should talk about the new movies at the box office and currently what's crushing it. You ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
Thor Ragnarok. Wow. You did do the trick.
Wow.
I'm glad that we can say Ragnarok. I still can't say
It
it.
took us a while.
Maybe
Exactly.
next time.
It's the word you say that 9 out of 10 times will make you sound like you're drunk when you're not. I'm not. I swear.
This movie's doing so good because it's so funny. Like they're doing the same kind of formula that Guardians of the Galaxy did. They take an indie director and just let him loose, and the writing is just good. So if you take away all the crazy superhero stuff and the long hair, it's still a good story.
As of today, going into this weekend, it's already set to be the 4th highest grossing film of the year.
No way.
Yeah, it did like
Really?
121 million just in one weekend,
It's Chris
which is
Hemsworth.
pretty
Yeah.
great.
What was your favorite part, Brian?
Oh man, I like anything that has to do with the Hulk. I like it when the Hulk and the Thor fight.
Yeah. And this, if you think about it, this really is, forget about Thor, this really is the Hulk's movie.
I mean, they're a great pairing. Anytime you get like a god and a guy that was hit by gamma rays fighting together,
Right.
it's the best part of the film. So.
And you said you thought Mark Ruffalo seems like a nice guy?
Yeah, he seems like a super nice guy. Like I don't know, he has like a dad kind of feature to him. Like I could like have a beer and he could give me advice. Like he just seems so
Like the
genuine.
hot dad.
Unlike the Hulk, he does seem kind of cuddly. We talked about Hulk technology. Take a look. How disconnected do you feel when you're doing Hulk part?
It's really, I struggle with it because I have dots on my face. I'm wearing the most ridiculous little Chinese checkerboard unitard, and and I have a helmet on that has a camera in my face. And the other actors see me and they just want to run away or burst out into laughter. And I'm supposed to play this giant, scary monster,
Right.
you know? But the technology has gotten to the place now where I can actually do a scene with somebody and we can improvise in it, and and it has the Hulk, and he's the Hulk voice, and as hard as it is, when I actually see it rendered and I see it there, I'm like, oh my God, that's what I did, and that's a performance, and that's mind-blowing and exciting and interesting and new.
Mark might have been a little.
He needs to relax. He's the Hulk. You know the Hulk probably does that too.
He needs to calm himself down.
He needs to calm himself down, okay?
Right, you
Superman
wouldn't-
has kryptonite.
Right.
Exactly. You wouldn't like him without his Girl Scout cookie, or insert the name of your favorite pop brand here, because you wouldn't like him angry.
Right.
No.
Exactly.
All right, they almost used that same CG technology to create Thor's hair back on because it tested so well with the short hair. How did you know I was BSing?
No.
I know you after all these
I'm
years.
pissed that they cut his hair. You can't have a god. He looks like he just walks through the mall now.
I actually really like him with short hair. I think he looks, I don't know, I'm not really a long hair type
not
of
either,
dude.
but-
I'm gonna call it the fact that I just rolled my eyes so big when she was like, just a guy, just a huge 6'4", beautiful man
Exactly.
walking through the mall.
What
Walking
mall?
through Forever 21, just
And-
with short hair.
Yeah.
And I want to know what mall you go to that only lets short hair guys in. Hey, what
Yeah.
a short hair mall.
He's a god, though. He's supposed to have the long hair.
Work at a Dapperville.
Yeah, now I can never go back to God Mall.
I sat down with them back in the day,
Is that a
and
real place? Oh my gosh.
back in the
Sorry, Mark.
what the hell's going on over here?
man.
The ship is going down. We are losing control.
We just talked to Mark Ruffalo. He shared.
Evidently, contact high. I sat down with Chris back in the day when we used to talk about hair and jokes. You're Thor. I can barely sit down. Thank you very much.
Do you think he's heard that a couple times? That
I was the first, and also it's my last chance to say that to him. All right, let's bring you back up. You know him, you love him. Lights, camera, Jackson. Hey,
Jackson.
Hey, Jackson.
Welcome.
What's up, guys? I got my hammer too. Bringing down the hammer.
Nice.
That's why
at
he
that.
wasn't in this one.
There's the hammer. You got it the whole time.
Hammer, I was wondering.
Have you been working out? What is that?
Thank you. I appreciate it. I got that. I got the shirt on. We're ready to go on Thor.
Okay, are we to assume by your shirt and your hammer that you love Thor Ragnarok as much as we do?
It was a little long. It dragged towards the end. It felt very uninspired by the end, which is what these first had. Well, again, I'm not the first of the film. I was really into it, but it gets very basic.
You're a basic bitch.
Maybe some of us need basic to make it to the end of a movie.
I've been called basic. It's not the worst thing.
Yeah. You basic.
You know why I like Jackson? He keeps it real. That's why.
Yeah.
We keep it real too.
No, we don't.
He keeps it real negative.
No, he doesn't.
Look at
Jackson
this.
keeps it extra real.
He keeps it extra real.
Yeah.
That's
Jackson.
why we're having him on extra butter, extra
Yeah.
real.
You've caused insurrection among the extra butter cast. You've caused me to have an aneurysm, evidently, too.
Did you see what he has going on behind him? Are those all pictures with you with celebrities?
It is all pictures with me and celebrities. Yes, it is the wall of LCJ fame in the office.
I like it.
All right, who is your favorite celebrity behind you before we leave this hot mess of a review? Who is your favorite celebrity?
Is that common right there?
Regis is up there, Amy Adams is up there, the Kate Blanchett picture is somewhere over here. But you know, I've also got this picture right here. This picture.
Hey, that's a good thing.
Okay.
That's a
I was
good
just about the time I was going to jump in and go, yeah, that says enough about his reviews that he leads with Regis. But then you show that, now I got mad respect for you again. Jackson, where can we find you?
pretty good.
You can find me on Twitter at LCJ Reviews and lights-camera-jackson.com. Mark, I'll see you soon for the Critics' Choice Awards in January. Can't believe it.
That's right, January the whatever he said. Can't even remember my own organization. Hey, Jackson, give a round of applause, Jackson. All right, thanks for being with us.
Jackson is
that guy?
smooth.
Yeah, good save. He pulls up a picture of you. That's a good save.
That was pretty awesome.
You giving it.
We didn't even work that bit out beforehand. That means he had that picture.
Right. He knew he was gonna use it.
I will tell you this. I used to really like Jackson when he was a little kid because there was something quirky about like this 2-foot kid on the red carpet going, I was just wondering if I just had a question about this. Excuse me, Mr. De Niro, I just wanted to know. If Jackson thought Thor was too long, wait till he experiences Murder on the Orient Express.
I kind of liked it though. It
liked
kind of reminded me of like Clue, you know? That like it has that like, feel to it.
Yeah.
And plus it's like beautiful. It almost looks like a Christmas card with like all the snow backdrop.
Yes, take a look at the cinematography. It is glorious to look at.
The the cast, are you kidding me? How do you get
phenomenal
all
cast.
these people? Judi Dench, Michelle Pfeiffer, Johnny Depp,
Penelope
Josh Gad,
Cruz.
Penelope Cruz. It's insane that they got all these people to be in one movie. And it's crazy. Agatha Christie novels are the best. Didn't you read those when you were younger?
I actually didn't.
Alexa.
But so I think that's why I went into it with no real expectations because
Yeah.
I had nothing to compare it to. I never really read the novels, and I kind of like I saw like the trailer and I was like, ooh, this looks like Clue.
I didn't do it!
Like, you know, like the old, like kind of like almost like flapper look, 1920s
that.
and 1940s, and then you have this like whodunit, you know?
Right.
And I thought that was cool.
I didn't do it!
So I thought that this might interest you, Star Wars fans. So I don't know if you saw, but like Josh Gad was walking around bothering Daisy Ridley about
it?
Star
He was
Wars.
pulling a me? Going, hey, what about this? And what about that?
Like,
What about-
actually like filming it on his phone, and it's like hilarious. You guys have to check it out.
All right, cool.
How annoying. I mean,
You mean segueing every conversation into Star Wars?
yeah, probably a little annoying.
All right,
Don't
who's
you
your daddy?
Nope, I don't think that's the name of the film we're talking about next.
No, I was just going to see if anybody jumped in. If anybody said Will Ferrell,
Oh,
if anybody
sorry.
jumped in and said Mark Wahlberg, then
Wait,
a
what?
biography based.
Wait. What kind of daddy? Because Mark Wahlberg.
Oh my
All right.
Lord.
While we go to Perv Town in a moment, we'll be checking out. How long, if you would? We'll be checking out Daddy's Home 2. Is the sequel better than the original? As good? We'll discuss next. back. It is Extra Butter, talking about movies the way you talk about movies. Up next, a movie that is near and dear to my heart, Daddy's Home 2. I have kids. I like movies where dads are having to relate to their kids. I liked it for that reason.
I liked it because it was like funny. You know, it's like nowadays a lot of families are blended. This whole movie is about dad and stepdad. And it's like, it's kind of like endearing because there's always kind of like that competition, you know?
Right.
But at the same time, it's like at the end of the day, they're family, which is what makes it like a fun movie to watch, especially over the holidays when you're getting that blended family together.
If you haven't seen the original, what's it about?
Okay, Will Ferrell he's married to a woman, and usually people have kids already. So like you said, it's a blended family. So then the bad, you know, kind of bad guy, bad
Cooler,
dad,
hipper dad.
cooler, hipper dad that didn't show up for his kids until now is Mark Wahlberg. So it's kind of Will Ferrell and him competing with one another to kind of control the kids. And
All right, Brian and I. So between Brian and I, who would be the dad?
he drives faster.
So I would be the cool dad?
Probably.
Okay.
I don't know, it's a
But
toss-up.
cool dad is real dad, so if you think you're Will Ferrell, then that's Will Ferrell's stepdad.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't know.
In this movie, Mark Wahlberg steps it up as a good father, and they really are co-dads, and it's their relationship together.
Who'd you talk to?
Yeah, how'd your chat? I can't wait to see how this goes. Your chat with him. Take a look.
Mel Gibson and John Lithgow. You cannot beat that cast. Did you guys have a say in picking those two as your dads, or?
Yeah, we had very strong opinions about who we thought would be right and believable and how important it was to cast actors that could really kind of pull that kind of weight. I mean, with playing Dusty's dad, for instance, you needed a guy who was going to be able to be believable as making him insecure and uncomfortable and kind of top his entrance in the first movie. And Mel is, you know.
And your character, Brad, you're very, very adamant about getting your son Dylan in the film to be in the friend zone. So have either of you ever been in the friend zone, and do you have any advice on how to get guys out of the friend zone?
Wow.
I say don't ever go into the friend zone.
What is it? End zone? Go into the end
Yes.
zone? What about you, Will?
You know, in terms of my romance career, I've pretty much established, I have box seats in the friend zone. Yeah. I've got a suite in the friend zone. Yeah.
Which one of you, have you guys ever been in the friend zone?
Oh, yeah.
My whole life has been spent in the friend zone.
Oh, see, so now we figured it out. He's Will Ferrell, you're Mark Wahlberg.
Ah, yay, for once.
Now everyone can rest. We have it under control. This will be your new favorite holiday movie, though.
Wait, what about John Cena? We haven't even talked about him yet.
Oh, yeah.
How do you not talk about him?
Right?
I thought,
He's the epic cool dad.
he was a snapshot in the first movie. They really developed his role in this.
Yeah, I like how he kind of developed to be the like antagonist, you know?
Right.
Like how he's kind of like the bad character, but he's also like, I don't know, I kind of was like secretly rooting for him.
Right.
But yeah, I enjoyed his
How do
character.
you not like Roger? That's the epic cool dad. Like you have Mark Wahlberg as the cool dad, but nobody beats John Cena. And I'm glad they did have him so much more in this one. He's just cool. Like you got to see how cool he is, even in an interview.
Yeah, he scares me when I sit down with him, so I'm glad you did. Take a look.
You always have this sense of coolness and pizzazz and badassery. How do you do that?
You talking about me?
I'm talking about you.
Oh,
you in the blue suit
you did
over
see,
there.
You did see Daddy's Home too, right?
I did.
No, I'm
That's
kidding. I'm kidding.
the
I think,
sunglasses, the truck. How do you do that? How do you
I
possess
think
that coolness?
Well, it's just it's the way that they built the story. Like they sent me in as a button on the last one, and it was like send me in on a motorcycle and be as cool and badass as you can. So like with the stage being set, they did a great job in the first movie to set that, and they allowed me to have some fun in being a super badass in the second one.
That was intense. Thought you did well. How was it?
Okay, the best part about this is I was kind of intimidated because he's a serious guy. If you watch the show Total Divas, he's very serious, to the point. Like they always goof around and he's like, Nicole, get back to the way you should be. You know, he's serious. The camera had to be switched out when I first came in the room.
Yeah.
So we were sitting there.
Oh no, I hate that.
Yeah, so we were sitting there and I'm kind of looking around waiting and he's like, oh, how's your day going? How do you, in a simple enough question, and then he started asking, so do you come up with your own questions? How do you know what to ask? What do you ask? What if you don't like someone?
You got interrogated by John.
Wait, hold on.
It was amazing though. He really was interested in what we do though. You gotta have a good sense of humor and a good, amazing comedic timing to be in a movie with Mel Gibson, John Lithgow, Will Ferrell, and Mark Wahlberg, and the Victoria's Secret model who plays Mark Wahlberg's woman.
John Lithgow was amazing in it. Mel Gibson, is it distracting having him in a movie?
A little bit, especially a movie like that. dad, I feel like we're so used to seeing him in like war, blood, those type of like movies.
Kills all the time.
And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I'm the grandpa. You know, it's like,
I
what?
guess I'm not one of those people that are completely over his indiscretions.
What are indiscretions?
Oh, we'll talk afterwards.
I'm kidding. I liked him in this though, because he's like the bad just like Mark Wahlberg. He's like the bad grandpa. Like the hooker jokes. You got to see the movie, but it works.
See it before Christmas?
Oh yeah, for sure. It's a Christmas movie.
Yeah, definitely.
It's gonna be your new favorite holiday movie.
Brian?
Yeah.
You can see at home whether you're the cool dad or the Will Ferrell dad.
You kind of sounded like when they in the commercials where they push in on the Pillsbury Doughboy.
Yeah, that's my response to like, ah.
All right, fair enough. There is.
I thought you were touching my.
Weinstein!
Whoa!
There is a movie that you are going to rave about. I'm going to get some enthusiasm out of you in a moment.
Here we go.
Lady Bird brings it at the box office. A small film that could. I guarantee you we will be talking about it come Oscar time. We will talk to Greta about it next. Hey, welcome back. It is Extra Butter. Thanks for hanging out with us. Grab some popcorn if you got it. It's Alexa, Kelly, Brian, myself. Normally we talk about the big blockbusters like Thor Ragnarok. We're going to be talking about Justice League next week.
Yeah.
But right now I want to slow it down and talk about something a little bit smaller, but a movie you're going to love just as much. Are you ready?
Yes.
How do you begin to tell them about Lady Bird?
I think that you nailed it by saying it's the little movie that could.
Yeah.
It's one of those movies, and Mark, you were talking about it kind of like Juno or Little Miss Sunshine, where it seems like they probably didn't have a very big budget, but they have a huge message and beautiful movie to go with it. I love this movie. I thought that it really hit home.
You'll definitely cry in this movie, but you'll laugh. And I went to private school when I was younger, and I know at home it explains a lot. But I got all the jokes, so you'll get it. The mother-daughter relationship, the private school things, like being a teenage girl you'll get, and being from a small town and all the jokes. People make fun of you for being from a small town.
Right. I knew Greta back when she was doing local theater, and then to watch her burst out onto the scenes and do phenomenal jobs in smaller movies, like in No Strings. She was Natalie Portman's best friend. Crushed it, killed it.
Jackie.
And Jackie, again, back with Natalie Portman. She played the executive assistant to Jacqueline Kennedy. And like other movies that she's been, she played the Russell Brand's girlfriend in the remake of Arthur, which was a horrible movie, but she was good.
She was the good part about that movie, and she's usually the best part about most movies.
So I went up to the big world premiere in Northern California to talk to her about it. We reunited. Take a look.
So good to see you. The reason this is exciting for me, like I've chased you all over the world interviewing you, but specifically for this movie, they made me wait until right here, right now to talk to you. I've been waiting for this forever.
I'm so excited. Thank you so much for being here.
I was literally stalking you in between everything else at Toronto to talk to you about this, and congratulations on the standing ovation that night.
Thank you. It was totally overwhelming, but not as overwhelming as tonight.
All right, I've seen it twice now. I want to see it sitting next to you and go, did that happen? Did that happen? Did that happen? I know it's not truly autobiographical, but I know Scott, and when he handpicked the movie Top 5 with Chris Rock, this movie is as much about you as it's not about you.
Yeah, I mean, it's not literally autobiographical, but it's really close to my heart, and it's really personal.
I've never jinxed anybody by saying this ever. I can tell you at least a dozen people that went on to get the Academy Award when I said congratulations in advance on all the awards for screenplay, acting, supporting acting, directing, everything. You deserve it, and if you don't get it, I know the nods are at least going to come your way.
Thank you so much, and I'm going to just knock wood, and I'm crossing my fingers, and I would be thrilled.
I wonder if this was actually a reflection of Greta's life. She claims it's not, you know, but I'm like, there's a lot of similarities there from what her backstory is. So I'm like trying to piece out nuggets. Like I wonder if that's like a real part of her life.
Was that your boyfriend?
Do you think this is going to win like an Oscar nomination?
Wait, you know, like 2 minutes ago, are you okay? Someone call 911. Someone, medic. We need a defense.
It's a good thing you look good today, Brian. That's all I can say.
You.
Ask me one more time.
I think it's going to win an Oscar.
Really, Captain Original? All right, coming up in a moment, another movie that's going to, that's not going to win Oscars, but you are going to see it anyway. Cars 3 from the most Academy Award decorated animation studio on the planet. Talking about that next. Hey, welcome back. It is Extra Butter. Just about to wrap things up, but now we should talk about what you can get at home. Your kids have to be huge Cars fans.
They are, yeah.
They're older, right?
Brian.
Listen, I love Cars. All right, I love Cars, the first one. I love Cars, the second one.
The ride.
And I went and saw Cars 3. It's a fun movie, but I think it gets off script a little bit. And I love Pixar. I'm a huge Pixar fan. It just kind of, it doesn't have the magic that the first one had, or the second one.
But it does have a pretty cool new character.
No, that's
Yeah, the girlfriend, Christella.
I completely agree with you. I think it's the best part of the film is having the new female lead in it.
Yeah.
But the way the story of how they get to it is kind of weird. Like, just go and do it.
But I like the
If you haven't
build-up.
seen it yet, you'll see what I mean.
I love the build-up to it. I think you need that build-up, though, don't you think? Because he doesn't want help. Owen Wilson's character, Lightning McQueen, doesn't want help from anybody because he's the best.
Right.
And then you have the new character you mentioned.
Yeah.
She helps him out, and it's incredible because it shows women power is even going into the animated movies.
To me, Christella was one of the best parts of the movie.
I agree. I talked to her about it. Take a look.
I've got a daughter, so I want females to be empowered. And
boom,
Absolutely.
here you go in this movie.
I love that. And you know what I love about the empowerment in this movie is that it's not about her necessarily. We never really talk about her being a woman. You know, we actually talk about how great she is at her job, which I think is such a great, important lesson to just remind kids that it doesn't matter if you're a boy or a girl. If you want to do something and you're good at it, that's all that matters. Go after it. Go chase that dream.
I've never known what that feels like.
I don't either, but it's a good day to start.
Yeah, it starts right here, right now. Thank you, Pixar. Thank you, Disney. You made it all happen.
Hey, hope you're having fun with that at home. Have a good one. Next week, don't forget, when we come back, we sit down with the entire cast plus a bonus extra cast member I can't talk about now, or Warner Brothers will kill me. That's right, Justice League next weekend. Have a good one.
Dun, dun, dun.